to another pick a card reading here on my YouTube channel, Into the Light. Thank you so much for being here today and clicking on this video. So today's pick a card reading is going to be about what people find attractive about you. So what do people find attractive about you? We have three piles to choose from. We have pile 1 with the carnelian crystal. We have pile 2 with the selenite crystal. And we have pile 3 with the sunstone. So those are your three piles to choose from today. Think about the question, what do people find attractive about me? And let it resonate for a little bit and let your intuition guide you to your pile of choice. Then you can find your timestamps in the comments or in the description box below. All right, let's get started with the carnelian crystal. So if you have chosen the carnelian crystal, you found your way to your reading. So what do people find attractive about you? Let's figure it out. All right. So we have a leg up in the reverse. We have come to the edge. Then we have to be fair. Okay, there's huge glare. Okay, next we have your Tao Oracle, and we have modesty. Okay, and then we have companionship. Next, for your karma cards, we have Cancer, we have the 6th house, and we also have the North Node. For your Lenormand, we have the Crossing or the Crossroads, and we have the Heart. Okay, so let me just fix the glaringness. I can just like move certain sides. Okay. It's just how it's gonna be right now. Okay, so hopefully you guys don't mind. So let's start with a leg up. So a leg up is in the reverse here. So this is showing me that you guys, let me pick it up. This is showing me that you guys like to usually do things by yourself. You don't usually like to get advice. Like you'll take advice from people, but in the end, you'll always do what you want to do. You know, you do things that are right for you. Your decisions are always made with your best heart and mind. So this is also showing me that you guys aren't afraid to start things and do things by yourself because you guys are very courageous. Like you guys actually have done a lot of things on your own. So, you know, sometimes you may act like, you know, you don't need anybody, but that's because you've been through some of the toughest battles alone already. So you know that you can overcome so much. So you don't really like to ask too much for help, but people like the way that you can do anything by yourself. So with come to the edge here, this is showing me that you guys, as I was saying, you guys are very courageous, right? You can take on tasks that may have some risk, but you're not afraid, right? People see you as someone that's very fearless and a very free spirit, honestly. I'm not sure if this is very dark or not. Yeah, but people see you as a free spirit, and it's you're able to do these things because, you know, you're guided by spirit. I can see these blue circles here, better in the camera than I can on the actual card. I don't know why, but it's spirit has been guiding you and has been by your side, so you're not afraid to do anything because you know it won't do any harm, right? You can overcome a lot of fears and you can accept, you know, you can accept different challenges and accept different risks because you know it's all a part of your growth, right? And yeah, like you guys aren't alone. So you know that everything that comes your way is part of your growth, right? You like to take on challenges for sure. And I can see that with To Be Fair, like you guys are a little bit, probably a little bit diplomatic, a little, but it's like you do things for the mutual benefit of yourself but also others. You always take other people's opinion in consideration, and when it comes to planning things with people, like you're always making sure that everyone will benefit from this one thing. You'll make sure that everyone will have fun. And it's like, even if you threw like a big birthday party for yourself that, like, you're celebrating yourself, you would still have different activities and stuff that other people will enjoy and not just like have it you centered. Um, but as well, you love to, I feel like you guys are very like, you're like social warriors. Like, you love to be a part of any kind of social justice um, activism that is going on at the time. And I feel like as well, whenever you guys are in relationships, you're very fair and you're always listening to your partner and always trying to understand their point of view. So you understand others, but you also ask to be understood. Um, but yeah, as well, not even just like your partners, but your colleagues, wherever you work, like your coworkers really love working with you because you won't end up having them do all the tasks. Like, you'll always split up things fairly and you'll always help them at the end of the day when it comes to like closing shifts, whatever that may be like. And then for modesty here, very beautiful card. So, sorry, it's like really gloomy today. It's like rainy, so the lighting's a little off. But with modesty here, this shows me that you guys are very content in, the simple things, your ordinary life, and like you don't need praise, right? Like, even though you overcome a lot and you face a lot of challenges and you're always like succeeding no matter what, you don't need praise for that. Even if you do like good tasks for people, you don't need to go online and be like, "Hey, look what I did today," right? Um, you focus on like living simply. You practice having a simple life. You practice humility, right? You're very respectful and respected. And that's what makes you stand out, like, because of how simple you live and how humble that you are. It's like you guys aren't concerned with others' opinions. If it's something negative, you don't care. You know who you are inside, you know yourself. Um, and you take responsibility, right? So I feel like because you have these qualities, people notice it. Like, you don't have to be flashy, you just have to be yourself, and people are just like, wow, because that's what makes you stand out, that sincerity. And then we have companionship here. So with companionship, this is showing me that you guys are very open and respectful of, the uniqueness of others. Whenever you guys have friendships and you're meeting your friends and everything, whatever they come to you with, you always respect what they have to say. Even if they did something a little bit like a little bit out of the regular, you still won't look at the person differently. You'll know that, like, okay, maybe you were dealing with something at the time which made you feel like, okay, maybe this behavior is acceptable right now. But yeah, you never like judge somebody, right? And I feel like with a lot of people, you have such a strong bond because you just respect people and you are really open minded. Like, you don't just have one sort of friend, you have a large group of friends. Like, you don't have to have like a big quantity of friends, but you have a group of friends that are of different personalities, different like characteristics. It all doesn't matter to you. And I feel like as well, like, you have a lot of, it says shared goals here. So I feel like you guys have a lot of shared, yeah, like a lot of shared goals with others. So whenever you guys are working on, fulfilling a goal, you always are that person to be like, all right, especially like I'm thinking of like fitness here. Like some of you guys might like work out and your friend wants to like start working out and getting fit, and you're like, all right, so we're both going to do this for the next 3 weeks. And you're always like keeping up with that person and saying like, okay, did you do it today? Like, how are you feeling today? So you're always like by your friend's side, right? Whenever they need help with anything. Okay, and then we have Cancer. So you guys are just very loving people, right? And whatever makes you feel happy, whatever makes you feel like good, you will do that. Like, you're not going to do something based on what other people force you to do or want you to do, right? And I feel like you're very guided by your intuition as well, which is why you're so easily like able to take certain risks, because you're guided by your intuition. With the 6th house here, like earlier I was saying, like your coworkers must adore you, like literally they adore you, and you're always trying to work for others in a way that, just because you have that humility, you're not afraid to work for others and be like a good team member as well. With the North Node, you guys are very lucky, very loving. You'll be successful in literally anything you do. And I feel like it's also because you're so good at working as a team. Like, you guys can definitely be leaders, but you won't be like that bossy, obnoxious boss. And I feel like you guys don't worry too much about things. You're kind of like, all right, well, that's life. Let's go on. Let's do something. You're not afraid to take those risks. And you'll always reap benefits from that. So with the crossing and the heart here, so basically you guys are you give your heart freely, you're very loving freely. And you guys make decisions based on your emotions, like based on your intuition. You follow your intuition to make decisions on things. Sorry about the lighting. But as well, you guys are you love freedom, and you love to do what you like. You just, like, as I was saying earlier, you guys are literally a free spirit. And yeah, like, people just love that you're so easy to talk with, be around, so easy to come to for decisions. Yeah, and you work really hard. You have that interdependence. So that's what I got for you guys that chose pile 1 with the carnelian. Keep being friendly, keep being lovely. If you like this reading, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye now. Hey you guys, so if you have chosen the selenite crystal, you found your way to your pile. So what do other people find attractive about you? It's a little bit glary, so I'm going to be like lining up the cards kind of on an angle, because my window's right there. It's pretty bad for the first video, so let's try that out. So we have message in a bottle. Then we have imagine. And we have milk and honey. See that glare? Ugh. And it's like rainy and gross today. It's crazy. Anyways, me ranting about the lighting. So we have the corners of the mouth. Okay. And we have innocence. Let me put it over here. Next we have the 7th house. Then we have Jupiter. And then we have Mars. Then for your Lenormand, we have the ring and the woman. Put those there. Okay. Now let's move the camera. Focus that in. Okay. So starting off with message in a bottle. So you guys are, let me take these. I have headphones around my neck. Okay, so you guys are very great with communicating with other people. You're very great at communicating your needs, communicating your wishes. If someone did something wrong to you, made you upset, you'll communicate it. Like, you're not going to hold it back and like have a huge grudge. Even if you do, like, after like a big fight, you might like hold something back for like a good 2 days. Like, you'll still always like come to that person and be like, hey, listen, like, you're not going to have like no 3-year grudges, never talk to this person again type thing. But also you're very respected because everything that you do is for your highest good. Like, you never do anything that will hurt someone. You're not someone that's like sneaky or conniving or anything. Like, you guys are very sweet. And I feel like you always provide people with good advice. You know, when people talk to you, it's like every time they talk to you, it's like, whoa, like, you just gave me the best advice. We haven't talked to like for like a whole year and then you just said this. You know, like, everyone you talk to, you give good advice to. With Imagine, I see that you guys definitely have huge imaginations. You always dream big, right? And anything that you tell yourself you want to do, or you tell somebody like, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start like writing a book, and people will be like, oh really, you know, like, oh, okay, that's cool. They wouldn't doubt that you'll start doing it, but it's like you'll start doing it and then you get really, really good at it. And people are like, wow, you literally just manifested this. Like, you said you're going to do something and then you do it and you do it really good, you know? So people see you as always like, anything that you imagine, anything that you think of, anything that you want to start doing, you always do really good at it, right? And people see you as very prosperous, very like successful. I don't know, it looks a little very prosperous, very successful. Like, you guys always have new opportunities coming your way. And as well, like, you guys aren't afraid to make sure that your needs are being met. Like, if someone isn't fulfilling you, if someone isn't doing the full 100, if they aren't meeting your needs, you're not afraid to be like, okay, well, gotta get rid of that, you know, gotta let you know. And if you're not gonna change up, you gotta go, you know, like, you put yourself first in that way. Okay. As well, like, this is with Milk and Honey, like, this is like all your needs are going to be met because you are at one with yourself. You're very aligned. People see you as, you're always just drawing in good because spirit is literally on your side with that rainbow there. With the corners of the mouth, so you guys are always doing things that are great for your well-being, that nourish your well-being. You provide others with advice and help, and you're not afraid to, you know, tell the truth. Especially, like, some people are like afraid of the truth, but you're like, you gotta know this, you gotta hear this because no one else is going to tell you this, you know. And as well, this is providing for others. Like, yeah, definitely, like, you give a lot of really good advice. What else is here? Nurturing the body, mind, and spirit. Yeah, I feel like you guys also, like, part of the advice that you give, like, you tell people, like, it's important to put yourself first. It's important to know what's going in your body. Like, you know, food-wise, it's important to know what's going in your body. It's important to actually take up that understanding of what is being said to you. Like, is this something that is good? Is this something that is bad? Like, for example, you could be that type of person that is like, just pay attention to the things that you consume. Like, literally, like, pay attention to the music that you listen to, pay attention to the foods that you eat, because often the things that we consume, those things that are like, food that has too much sugar, music that has like too much swearing, or if you like spend too much time locked up in your room in the dark or whatever, like those external experiences that you have are going to be detrimental to your body, mind, and spirit. Like, it's going to be detrimental to yourself. So I feel like you tell people about like their practices, their daily practices, and be aware of their routines and how that affects their balance, right? And then with innocence here, like, I feel like people just want to protect you. Like, you're very innocent, very loving. I feel like people see you as like very pure, Um, and you guys are very simple. You guys might like, maybe you are minimalist, or you like want to get into minimalism. But that could also be like the way that you think. Like, you try not to overload your senses with any negative thoughts, and you try and help other people not do that themselves. You guys are very open-hearted, very open-minded as well, very original. You guys are just very authentic. Like, people love you and will listen to you and will even buy your products because you're very authentic to yourself. And people notice authenticity, and that's what people love about you. Like, you're just yourself, and that's why people trust you as well, because you're very open as well. You're like, this is how I am. This is maybe some things that I dealt with in the past, but I know like these were lessons that I need to learn. You guys are very loving. You take every situation kind of with a grain of salt. Like, yeah, this may have happened, this might have been really bad, but you know what? It was all a part of my process, all a part of my growth, and people are just like, damn, like, how do you remain so innocent and so sweet after everything that you've been through? Like, you're just always going through this rebirth here, right? And people see you as very wise and intuitive as well. With the seventh house here, like, as I was saying earlier, like, you guys are very well with communicating with others, cooperating with others. I feel like a lot of people want to collaborate with you as well. Even when you guys have like group projects, group work, whenever you just have to work as a team, like, you're always very fair. And I feel like as well, you guys may even tend to kind of carry the load a lot, especially in teamwork. Um, like, you might do more of the task than other people, but like, you're totally fine with it. So this is your partners here. I feel like anyone that you've ever dated, or any best friend or friend that you have, after they may have been with you and separated, whatever, like, nobody comes into your life and leaves the same, right? You always like help people upgrade. You help people reinvent themselves to be, better, right? And with Jupiter here right under Imagine, like, you guys will manifest anything. You guys are always like receiving blessings from spirit, receiving blessings because of who you are, You guys are very positive. It says learn or teach here. So I feel like as well, like, as I was saying, you guys give a lot of advice and people are just like, wow, like, I didn't even know about that before. But yeah, you teach a lot of people things, and I feel like you guys would be really great teachers because you're just so kind-hearted. You're very patient as well, very respectful. Um, yeah, people just always see you like leveling up. You're going to grow and expand, right? You guys are going to get there. Wherever you want to be, wherever you want to go, you'll get there, okay? And with Mars here, it's like you guys aren't afraid to, as I was saying, you guys aren't afraid to confront people for doing things that they should not be doing, You're not afraid to tell the truth, right? You're not afraid to confront people, take actions on your beliefs and what you like to see in your life, right? And I feel like you guys have a lot of drive for when it comes to things like social issues. Like, you will be like, guys, like, listen, this is what's going on right now. This is wrong. You guys can't be blind to this situation because it affects all of us, right? So you guys are kind of have that like advocacy about you as well with this Mars energy. Yeah. And because you do so much good for others, it's like all that good you do for others comes back as good karma for you. That's why it's so easy for you guys to manifest things and have blessings in your life, because Spirit sees you working hard. Spirit sees you doing well. You don't need any praise from anyone. You just work behind scenes. Okay, and then last but not least, we have the Ring and the Woman. So I feel like people definitely want to wife you up, you know, or people just want to, they want you to be their husband. They want you to be their wife. Like, people see you as marriage material, even though that sounds so weird, marriage material. Hubby or wifey material. I think that's what people say. I don't know. But yeah, people see you as well, like as someone that's very committed. Whenever you have a goal, you stick with it until you're very successful at it. And people feel really well connected with you, especially people that are really close with you. You always make people feel really comfortable around you, and I feel like people also see you as well connected with yourself, well connected with your being, well connected with Source. But as well, I feel like a lot of people have a lot of things in common with you. You might be someone that just likes anything, like especially like when it comes to music, like you'll listen to anything. Like you'll listen to hip hop, you'll listen to like pop, you'll listen to indie, you'll listen to rock, whatever your interests are, you just have a whole bunch. Like you're open to anything, and people are like, whoa, like I didn't know you like that. I also like that. So people can find at least one thing in common with you, and people also see you as very dependable and trustworthy. So that's what I got for you guys that chose pile 2 with the selenite crystal. If you like this reading, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye now. Hey you guys, so if you have chosen pile 3 with the sunstone crystal, you found your way to your reading. So what do people find attractive about you? Let's figure it out. I'm going to be laying the cards out kind of on a slant because there's a little bit of a glare from the window. Sorry about that. So first off, we have peace. Okay. So we got peace. And then we have breathe. And then we have chop wood. Okay. For your Tao Oracle, we have revolution. Oops. And then we have work on what has been spoiled. So just put that underneath. Okay. For your karma cards, we have the moon. We also have Gemini. And we also have the sun. Okay. And then for your Lenormand, we have the garden. Put it. Figure out where to put it. And we have the key. I think I'll put it up here. I'll pick them up, even though I can't really see them right now. Okay. So let's start with peace. So you guys, you guys are very peaceful people. Like, I know it's like peace. You're peaceful. But further than that, I feel like you guys are what things people find attractive about you is that you're always taking like a radical approach on life. I feel like you guys think like, even though there could be a lot of things going on around, like you still try and keep the peace, you know, like You guys are very accepting on what's going on, and you are in true alignment with yourself and with other people. Like, you're really great at keeping harmony with others. And I feel like you're the type of person that is very capable of having like a clear vision about where you want to go, how you want to create your prosperity, how do you want to work, you know? Sorry, I just got a phone call. Don't know the number, so I didn't answer. um, yeah, and you guys are very calm, and like in spite of like any kind of temporary conditions, you know, that might be negative, like you guys are always calm, right? Especially with breathe here. Like, let me focus that card. There we go. So especially with breathe here, like you guys are usually the ones that can calm people down when they're going through stress. I'm just seeing like an image of like a doula and like a pregnant woman like in labor right now, and like I'm seeing like the doula just going like, okay, breathe in, breathe out, you know? You're that person that is like whenever someone's going through something really crazy, like you tell them like just have patience, just breathe it out, things are going to get better, things are going to work out and pan out the way that you want it to. I feel like you guys are always trying to help people trust themselves, trust their intuition as well. You're just very patient and loving. Like you guys are very calming. Like I feel like really calm energy from this group. And I feel like whenever things get tough, like you're the type of person to be like, okay, let's just enjoy the simple things in life. Let's stop and smell the roses, you know? Stop and smell the lotus flowers. But yeah, you aren't in like much of a hurry. And you're kind of just like enjoying the moments of life, the day to day. I feel like you're the type of people that might like post pictures of like the sunset or flowers or trees, just like posting pictures or uploading pictures of like nature and just simple things in life like that, right? You're like, look at nature, like doing all this great stuff for us, and look at the way that we don't appreciate it as much, you know? So yeah, you guys look at the simple things, especially with chopped. Ugh, I hate reaching over this camera. I feel like I'm gonna drop everything. Okay, especially with chopped wood here. Like this card is literally about looking at your day-to-day routines, your day-to-day work, and just doing like one thing at a time, taking things one step at a time. So this is definitely like your energy. Like you guys are very grounded in like your everyday experience, right? You guys are very you guys practice like humility for sure, like 100%. And I feel like if you guys do meditate, like you're really great at grounding your energy. And you know, like there are times when you can dream big and think big and have like so many different ideas and plans for the future, but you also know that there's times to be present in your consciousness and pay attention to the simple things in your life, right? And I feel like as well, like in relationships, like you're the type of person to appreciate like any relationships, any friendships, like you're the type of person to put awareness into that moment of then. Like if your friends are worrying about like what's going to happen in the future, what's going to happen with this this grade, what's going to happen with this relationship that I'm in, like you're the type of person to be like, all right, so if you feel like things are going a little crazy, return to the simple things. Like try not to think too much about the future, what's going to happen, because you don't really know what's going to happen. And the only way you can change the future is to start doing things in your present life. Like your future is being created by what you're doing presently, right? So why stress about the future? And the more you stress, it's like the more negative comes down on it. I don't know. Like you guys are kind of like the Zen person of your group, especially with that peace and the breathe and the chop wood. And even with revolution. Like look at that word, radical again. I don't know why I was like, you guys have a radical approach, but it's there again, a radical change. So this card, like if you can tell, there is what is it called? What is that bird called? A phoenix. Yeah. So you guys, I think you guys should also search up Phoenix Rising. Yeah, I think that's what it is, Phoenix Rising in Google, and just look up some more information on that. But as well with this Revolution card, like you're always pursuing that change, that transformative action that makes things, you know, better for yourself in the future. Like give up your old ways of doing things, give up the old negative fear-based thoughts that you think of, and replace that with, you know, taking some deep breaths, you know, focusing on the now and grounding your energy, right? um what else here? It says a quantum leap. Quantum leap. I feel like you guys are very focused on helping people reinvent themselves to be like better versions of themselves. Like you guys are very focused on not to overlook signs because that will like stress you out. You guys are focused on helping people go through like these big changes. And with the phoenix, like the bird of the phoenix, like the phoenix is basically like its message is to live life without guarantees and appreciate, you know, the different flows and changes that life brings. You know, appreciate those cycles. Um, but yeah, you're concerned with, you know, tending to the now, tending to what is going on in your social conditions, tending to what's going on in your thought, kind of re-examining the way that you think. People just love your approach on life and how you see things, especially with work on what has been spoiled. Like you guys like to face the facts and you get to that center point of your being. Like you go inside, like for you to go through change, for you to understand something, appreciate something, you go to that center point of yourself, because center point of your being, because that's what brings about change, right? You have to go through that healing. You're someone that preaches healing and also does that yourself. You're always trying to restore balance. You take responsibility for the actions that you have done. You know, you're not that type of person that like you'll do something wrong and other people might notice that like you did something wrong and you'll be like, oh no, I didn't. Like, no, that's wrong. Like, I actually did this for no. Like, you'll always be like, okay, like, yeah, I did something wrong and I understand that and I'm wrong. Like, you're always cleaning up anything that has happened. Like, you're always like very loving and you don't like hold grudges, right? Like you will clean up your mistakes just to make that peace. You know, you're always keeping that peace within your group, your friend group. With the moon, like you guys are very nurturing, yeah, for sure. And I feel that as well, you're just very like accepting of everyone and their differences. And as I was saying earlier, like you embrace that ebb and flow of life and the different cycles, you know, that come through, just like the moon. Like there's always different things that happen to you, but it's like just because those external situations are happening doesn't mean you have to change who you are inside, right? You let your feelings tell you how to react. Let your feelings tell you how to handle something, right? And you know, like if I am frustrated, if I am angry, then I can't make decisions that I will like, you know, I might make decisions that I'll regret. So you'll always like keep that peace and nurture yourself and ground yourself before you make decisions, before you make actions. You make sure it's for the good of yourself, for the good of others. You know, it's not going to harm anyone. And with the Gemini here, it's like you're very great at communicating to other people about, you know, what you need to understand. I feel like what you want to be known. Yeah, I feel like as well, like how you present yourself to other people, like you want other people to see you as very peaceful, very loving, like with that other the breathe card here. You want to be presented as someone that always looks out for other people. You know, you're probably someone that also looks out for the underdog. Um, but also you're very, patient, right? Information to explain. Yeah, I feel like whenever you do explain information, if people don't get it, like, you're definitely very patient and you'll be like, okay, like, let's explain it in a way that you'll understand, right? Yeah. I feel like you guys definitely like take that time to communicate to people. Like, it's important to live in the now, live in the present moment. With the sun here, like, you guys can definitely be a leader, like, just like your energy and the way that you deal with things. You're always going to be demonstrating new outlooks and new ideas for other people. Um, I feel like as well, like, as a leader, like, you always have to be putting out those ideas. You always have to be looking out for everyone and being very open minded as well. And I feel like that's also what makes you gain a lot of respect from other people, because you don't just do things for yourself. You do things for the good of people. You do things for others to start realizing their worth. You're that type of person that, even though you preach these things to the public, you don't want to be looked at as like a savior or anything. You just want people to be able to practice their own self-care, their own self-healing, right? You're only here to provide a message, right? And you act like a leader in that way because you're providing people with the information that they need to know. You're bringing light to things in people's life. But it's like, you're not doing that to be approached as like this big leader. You're doing that for the good of people, right? And people just respect you for the way that you are. People respect you for the insight that you provide, right? Oops. Now with the garden and the key here, like, the garden is about, public social situations, right? So definitely you guys reveal a lot of keys to the public. Like, you reveal a lot of insight. With your friends, you always are the one to provide solutions. If your friends are going through anything, like, you're always the one to be like, okay, I know what you should do. I feel like you guys are, because you are always like practicing being present in the moment and grounding yourself. And, I feel like you guys are definitely like empaths. Like, I'm picking that up as well. So you guys may like to stay inside a lot. You might be like introverts. You can be extroverted sometimes, but it's like you kind of attempt to like go out and unlock that extroverted side in you. And I feel like that's why you can't, like, not that you can't, but that's why you feel like a little bit anxious about being that boss, being that leader, because it's like you don't want to do all that. You don't really care about it. Like, you just care about people waking up and seeking truth. But yeah, you deliver public insight in the way that works with you. Like, you might do it on social media. You might just talk with your family. You might just talk with your close friends and be like, hey, let's get this message out. But you don't like force too much on people. Yeah, and I feel like maybe like you guys can be the ones that would be like advocating for different like needs, different rights. Okay. Let's see what else here. Yeah, and I feel like as well, like, if anything's happening in like when it comes to like political topics, when anything is happening that is just not right, like, you're always going to be like, okay, guys, you got to listen to what this government is doing right now. You got to listen to this. And it's also like, you're advising the people, you're letting people know what's going on, but at the same time you're like, even though this is going on, don't give into it, because they want you to be in fear. They want you to think differently. That's why we have this revolution card here. It's like, you break down those old ways of thinking. You break down, like, don't give into the fear. Don't give into that. Focus on yourself. Focus on your present being, right? So that's what I got for you guys. That shows pile 3. If you like this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye now.